is something called Batesian mimicry. So he gets left alone by predators because they can't tell the difference between our little harmless tepid and those really dangerous coral snakes. So he doesn't need camouflage, even though he sticks out like a sore thumb in his environment, he still gets left alone. Now, other than that, these scales are often colored for camouflage in other species, but apart from the color, these scales are very important for protection. This is like a suit of armor for these animals. It's very tough, and they are covered entirely in these scales. Even their little eyes have scale caps over them just to protect them. Now, these scales are not going to grow with the animal their entire lifetime. They do have to occasionally shed off their outer layer of scales and just replace them with larger ones. And that process is just called shedding. It takes about 1 to 2 weeks to fully complete. And you can tell that a snake is about to shed because as that outer layer prepares to come off, their color will get much more dull, and those little scale caps I talked about will turn a blue or a cloudy white color. Now, a younger snake does shed more often than an older snake. They are growing more quickly. Just to accommodate that growth, they'll shed about 8 to 12 times a year on average. But as they get older, that will slow down to about 3 to 8 times a year. Now, the next little thing I want to talk about is just a little bit about how snakes have their young. So most snakes are what we call oviparous animals. So oviparous means that they lay eggs. And those eggs hatch into little baby snakes just like we would expect. Now, a small percentage of snakes, however, are not oviparous. They're what we call ovoviviparous. And what that means is that they still have the eggs. They just keep them inside their body where they hatch internally, and then they give kind of a simulated live birth. We do have a snake species like this. Our rosy boa in the Discovery Room is one of those special species that gives that simulated live birth. Now, the last little thing I want to talk about while I have Tepin out before I go get our alligator is just what it means to be cold-blooded. So snakes and other reptiles are cold-blooded animals, very different from us. We're warm-blooded animals. You can also call being cold-blooded ectothermic. And all this means is that they do not regulate their own body temperature. So we're all 98.6 degrees on the inside, and our bodies work really hard to maintain that constant internal temperature. But cold-blooded animals do not work that way. If this snake is outside and it's 80 degrees out there, it'll be 80 degrees on the inside of his body. If it's cold outside, it'll be cold on the inside of his body. Now, this does affect their energy levels, so if they're not warm enough, they won't be able to move around, digest their food, all those important things they need to do to be a snake. That is often why you see reptiles like turtles, for example. They'll be out of the water on a log that's floating, just trying to soak up some energy from the sun, or maybe a gator is basking on the riverbank, again, just trying to get some energy from the sun. Now, that is the last little thing I had for y'all while I have Tepin out. But before I go get my alligator to show you guys have any questions for me about snakes? No questions? Wow. Okay. Well, if y'all just hang tight, I'm going to go put Tepin up, and I'll be right back with that alligator for y'all to meet. It'll take me just a minute.